18,000 man-hours over 8 calendar years, 62 volunteers, 70 original components, 80 years since the airplane flew last. My name is Addison Pemberton. Behind me is the oldest flying Boeing airplane, the only flying Boeing 40, and it represents to me a key part of commercial aviation in this country. It's really the beginning of what became commercial air travel. But these guys basically had to scud run to survive. You could mail a letter in 1925 in New York, and it would arrive in San Francisco in 2 days, about 98% of the time, which to me is like space travel when you consider driving a Model T from San Francisco to New York might take you months, and they could do this in 2 days, and they did it pretty reliably. It's amazing that they were able to do this. Having visited the Henry Ford Museum in 1982, I was determined to try and find a Boeing 40 project. We found out very shortly that 82 had been built. Within about 3 years, we were able to account for every serial number produced, of which was serial number 1043, 5339, the airplane behind us, which had a record of being crashed in southern Oregon, October 2nd, 1928. There was no record of that airplane ever having been salvaged. So I tried to look for the airplane for several years with no success. I ran down 4 or 5 other dead ends, and by the late 1980s had pretty much decided that I was never going to find a Boeing 40. It wasn't until 1998 that Golda Cox and Jack Cox wrote a wonderful article about a stagger wing that we had restored. And the last sentence in that sport aviation article was a question posed to me, what was my dream project? And I said that a Boeing 40 was my dream project. Well, lo and behold, that magazine was published in May of that year, and within a matter of weeks, Golda Cox was contacted by a man named Eustace French, who said he had a Boeing 40 in a horse trailer in his backyard that had been salvaged by the Oregon Aviation Historical Society. So there was the tie. I instantly knew it was serial number 1043. I instantly knew it was 5339, and contacted Oregon Aviation Historical Society. By about 2000, we negotiated a sale. With the original drawings and the data plate and the title and a clear registration certificate, we then aligned ourselves to restore what would become an airplane with a standard airworthiness certificate that we consider a restoration. To me, it was important to have a restoration rather than a replica, and I think that's what we've done successfully. So whatever we could integrate to some component of the airplane, we did reuse. There is a significant amount of landing gear that's original. When I step in the cockpit and I put my foot in the footsteps to crawl in, those are original components. I think about Grant Donaldson that morning of October 2nd, that last flight when he crawled in there. So I was preparing myself for what I thought would be a very unconventional flying airplane. I didn't know what we'd experience in terms of stability. And I'm on the runway and I open the throttle, and initially I'm taken back first by the acceleration. And the airplane is airborne in about 7 seconds. And within a few seconds of flight, you begin to appreciate the airplane is telegraphing to you stability. The airplane is very conventional to fly, no special skills required except for X-ray vision on final. It has about the worst visibility of anything I've ever flown. A slip is definitely required virtually into the flare. The control forces, although well harmonized, are very heavy, about 3 times the stick forces of what a PT steerman is. So take a steerman and multiply all the control forces times 3 and have the response, and that's what a Boeing 40 flies like, with the weight and feel of an AT-6. Is once you leave the major cities, I mean, you are in 1928. I mean, once you get away from the interstates and the cities, that mountain, river, grass field, that's what it looked like. So you can really transport your mind back in time. And I do think about what these guys were thinking day in and day out when it became a job. It was drudgery to drive these things across the country. And, I think about what they were thinking.
Oh, Addison, that was just, I don't have words for it. It was fabulous.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, man. That was
What an
just
experience,
incredible.
huh?
Oh, it is.
I didn't know if the passengers were going to feel like they were in a barrel with somebody beating on a hammer on the outside of it. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's this little tiny cabin with all this noise and environment. And, what I'm hearing back from my passengers, it's a very pleasant, smooth, stable, Pullman car gliding over the countryside ride, which is very pleasant.
It was pretty awesome. I mean,
Yeah, it's incredible. And what a smooth ride. I mean,
And today is not a real smooth day.
yeah,
And,
but
I just amazed.
And the
How fun.
leg
Thank you.
room.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
The leg room. The leg room.
I'm
Too
serious.
funny.
EAA has been valuable with regards to networking. I mean, there's an infinite network of national knowledge. We will bring the airplane, God willing, to AirVenture this summer with the purpose of sharing the airplane with all of the interested folks, pilots or not, builders or not. We want to share the story. We want to let them experience circa 1928 commercial aviation. I would invite anyone to come visit the airplane this summer. You can touch this thing, you can feel it, you can walk around it, you get perspective. If you hang around long enough, you'll hear it make its noise, and it makes some great noises. This is my small way of bringing that 1928 state-of-the-art aviation to EAA this summer, to some of the other premier events around the country to kind of share this living piece of history with the general public.